You're all set.
Okay. All right, I am Mayor Meg Grenier, and as it is 6 o'clock, I will call this meeting to order. For anyone outside of the village staff who is attending this video conference, I would ask if you would please identify yourselves.
Bill Nevins.
Lisa Newman.
Okay. I will now do roll call of village staff. Deputy Mayor Seth Harris.
Present.
Trustee Diane Foley.
Present.
Trustee Brian Marsh.
Present.
Trustee Tim Lane. He's muted, but he's there. Clerk Don Hanrahan.
Present.
Chief Ryan St. Gelais.
Present.
Intern Isabel Smirstick.
Present.
Okay. On behalf of the village board, I would ask all residents that we please keep our first responders, all essential workers, and those affected by this pandemic in our thoughts and prayers. On January 14th, 2022, Governor Kathy Hochul signed legislation extending virtual access to public meetings under New York State's open meeting law, which allows New Yorkers to virtually participate in local government meetings during the COVID-19 pandemic. The legislation, which was initially implemented by executive order during last year's state of emergency, allows state and local government meetings that are normally held in person to be held remotely instead, as long as the public has the ability to view or listen to the meeting, and as long as the meeting is recorded and later transcribed. The statutory change will reduce the need for congregation at public meetings while the Delta and Omicron variant are prevalent, while ensuring public business can continue. The governor just extended that executive order through February 14th. So the next meeting at least will also be virtual, and then we'll go from there after that. So we need a motion to accept the meeting minutes of the January 3rd, 2022 board meeting.
I move to approve the minutes from the January 3rd, 2022 regular board meeting. Seth Harris.
Second.
Second,
Brian.
Diane.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Don, you got the,
Yeah, warrant number 16. We have to avoid check number 1267 for dated 12/20/21 to Whitmer Public Safety Group. It was a duplicate check. General, $60,891.33. Water, $266,240.85. Sewer, $4,103.37, totaling $331,235.55. Payroll number 18, $132,831.08.
So moved, Brian.
Second, Seth.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
We have no transfers. The next on the agenda is a discussion about 19 Hutton Street. There was an error made in the software where it literally doubled the amount of the bill, so we need to correct the bill.
All right, so we need to
So,
read the resolution.
yeah, I need someone to read the resolution. Seth, do you want to
I'll
read
read
it? Or-
I'll do it. Want me to do it?
Yeah, please.
All right. Whereas water and sewer account number 51-477-0 for 19 Hutton Street water charges were based on incorrect usage. Now therefore be it resolved that a total of $821.80 from water will be adjusted off 19 Hutton Street's current bill, and be it further resolved that a total of $369.79 from sewer will be adjusted off 19 Hutton Street's current bill. So moved.
Second, Seth.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Next up is the property maintenance code. Tim, do you want to lead that discussion?
Yes, I had a very good meeting with Lyle a week before last, and I think we worked out the bugs. He's happy with the end result. Submitted this out to Steve, who had no additional comments. Following this, went out to the rest of the board, and everybody seemed that they were good to go with it. So I'd like to submit it this evening. Section 127 of the property maintenance code of the village code for a public hearing.
Second. Okay,
All right, so we're going to do that the next meeting at the February 7th meeting?
Yeah, if that's okay with the board, sure.
Anybody have any
Yeah.
objections?
No, I think that's good.
Okay. All right, so again, Don, get that up on the website. Make sure
Yep.
you incorporate the draft watermark, I think it's called. And then we'll go from there. Tim,
Okay.
thanks for your
Okay.
work on that with Steve and Lyle. We appreciate it.
And thank you for your patience in getting this done. Thank you.
No, we said we want to get it done right the first time, so it's good.
I appreciate that.
All right, so I'm going to just give an update on the next one for 45 Broadway and 33 Glenwood. Lyle had spoken with John Dow of Cranesville Block, who is heading and acting as the project manager. They have been in contact with National Grid and are waiting on confirmation of the disconnects of the gas and electric going to the property. Part of the demolition permit process is to have proof of disconnections to the building, which is usually a formal narrative from whoever did the work. John has all the other documentation ready to submit to the village. Once he gets the mandated proof of disconnect from National Grid, Cranesville has a contractor lined up to do the work following the issuance of the demo. So that is moving along. Right now, it sounds like it's in National Grid's hands, but things are moving along. And Renee, I know I was just talking fast. I'll forward this to you.
Thank you.
On 33 Glenwood, he hadn't seen or heard anything. He was going to drive by today again to take a closer look. At one point, it didn't look like anyone was occupying the home, but he was going to, again, look again today.
It also doesn't look as if anything's been moved in the lease, like not one bit of anything has been removed from the lawn. You know, it's in the same state it's been in. So the guys made no attempt to remedy any part of the issue.
Do we know if he, I know that Lyle hasn't heard from him, but has our office heard from him?
I haven't heard anything from him.
And he was supposed to do that. That was what he promised, at least contact. So what would be the next step?
Lyle was gonna talk to, or Steve said he was gonna check with the city of Albany, what they do in a circumstance where somebody won't vacate. And I'm not sure if Lyle's had contact with Steve yet about that, but I'll follow up with that tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, that, and find out besides whether or not he vacates, what about the property? Like what, is that something where we send someone in to do something or to stabilize it?
Well,
I think we'll have to determine that after we get an update from Lyle.
Right. That's what I mean. I just didn't know like what the next step is with that. Because we're also doing this for the safety and well-being of the neighbors.
what did we disconnect or terminate the water service to that property? I think that would be a next step that we should do. That way, the property at least can't flood.
Yeah, we can do that.
Well, that's a question for Steve to make sure that we can do that.
Right, of course. But I mean, if normally that would be part of a condemnation hearing, would be to terminate, require all utilities be terminated, and that includes water.
We'd have to be sure he's vacated the property, or that, he's done what he's been required to do.
I'll tell you one way to get him out is to make sure that if there's no water and we've given him proper notice, I mean.
I don't know if you can I'm not sure, as Meg says, I think we got to wait for Steve, because I don't know if you can do that until you can be sure that the person.
Yeah, I mean, these are all legal questions, but that's definitely one of the steps in the process that other municipalities take.
He had mentioned something about going back to work soon. Lisa's raising her hand there. She lives across the street. Is she trying to tell us something?
I just have a question because you keep saying he, so I wonder which he you're talking about.
Which one is it,
You'll
Michael?
have to say Mr. Which or first name anything.
Michael Weaver.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I have seen cars going there, but I can't report about whether or not people are living in them. the house or not.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll follow up again with Lyle and wait for, see what he figured out today, and then we'll go from there with conversation with Steve and what we have to do. All right, looks like next on the agenda is the report from our economic development intern. So Isabel, you're up.
Hello.
Hi.
Can everybody see the present? Oh, oops. All right.
Yep.
So just some of the projects I've been working on these past couple weeks, the meet and greet, community outreach, the CGI video for the village, the downtown revitalization initiative, and the upcoming food truck festival for the summer. So my meet and greet for the Village of Menands is set for February 7th from 5 to 6 p.m. before the village board meeting, and it's virtual on Google Meet. And I sent it out to Nicole, so it should be on the village social media sites and in the Menands activities letter. And if you have any ideas about generating a good turnout, please let me know, because I know Annika mentioned that hers wasn't super well attended, and I would love to get as much input from the community as possible. And then the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. So I've contacted some of the previous winners in Troy, Tannersville, the Village of Messina, and Oneonta, just about their applications and timelines. So what I've heard is that outside application assistance, like using consulting companies, is very helpful, but it's not completely necessary to win the award. Some people have done it, some haven't. But it can be a good place to start, especially with public outreach, which is very important. And that applications usually come out early May and are due at the end of May. Last year they came out in August and were due in the middle of September. But everybody recommends starting earlier, just because that's not a lot of time to get everything together and have everything approved before the application is due. And then Meg, Seth, and I have a meeting with Chazen to ask about application assistance on Thursday to see what they would recommend. And then for the CGI video, in terms of paperwork, I sent out the letter of introduction in the community video program agreement to CGI videos, so we should be all good there. And then Seth and I have a meeting with our coordinator, Casey, tomorrow, just to talk about where we move forward in terms of picking out dates for filming. And then they did ask for our assistance with a script or reaching out to sponsors. I guess the way that they worded it was if there's anything that like we wanted to definitely include to make sure that we're representing the village the way we want to, we should definitely tell them sooner rather than later. So if you have any questions or anything that you definitely want mentioned, please feel free to send that to me or Seth so we can include that in our meeting tomorrow. And then the food truck festival, I've followed up with all of the food trucks that Annika has previously contacted before she left, and there's been a lot of interest but no commitments. So, and the reason for that is most people want to know if they're going to be paying a fee to basically be there. And then I have been in contact with infrastructure because I know we were talking about doing it in their parking lot, and their facilities manager has given me permission, but I'm just waiting for permission from the BBL construction manager, I think is his title, and he said he would be getting back to me. But if that doesn't work, we also have the park reserved, and that sounds like it would be a little bit of a better location just in terms of live music and easier access to people in the neighborhood.
If you need help with the BBL people, I know Nathan Beck, and he's the first B.
Okay. I think I emailed someone named Frank.
Okay.
But
Frank's the property manager.
Okay.
He's very nice, and he said he did respond to my email, and he said he would give me a concrete answer soon.
Great.
As always, nice work, Isabel, and I can tell you from from working with you in the past couple of weeks, you really hit the ground running. So I feel like you've been here for longer than just the past couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Very good. I have a question reference to what you said about fees for the food trucks. The only example I know of a food truck, being in the village is the one that used to come down to Riverview during the summer, were they required to pay a fee? Or do we have that in our code? Is there anything that would require that?
No, they didn't do it because it was on private property. If it's on
Okay.
private property, we didn't have to, there was no fee.
We were talking
Um,
about though, maybe for this year, just to get it started, like if we don't charge and then tell them if, you know, if this pans out and it's more successful, we'll reevaluate that for next year. But, you know, just to try to get the trucks in here for this year, we're talking about waiving a fee.
I agree.
Yeah, that's fine with me as well. Yes.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you, Isabel.
Thank you.
I had one letter from Bill Garvey on 11/25/21. One vapor lamp is not being lit at night between Menands and Clifford Road. On 12/5/21, he reported a mattress next to the fire hydrant on Glenwood Road. It was later taken away. He observed a hydrant on Broadway that does not have a red and white reflector stick. 12/11/21, while at the library, he moved boxes and plastic files blocking 2 fire extinguishers. He wants to thank the code enforcement officer and village engineer for inspecting Cranesville Block. He agrees this building should be demolished. And he questioned one of the buildings had been vacated, but was informed there is a new tenant. What's he talking about? Sorry. Oh, this was at the farmer's market. The Art Deco style building at the farmer's market, he noticed was vacant, but they're looking for a new tenant. And that's all I have. Does anybody else have anything?
We that letter from the fire department about John Dudley. I sent it to everybody today.
Did it include,
It didn't. Ryan, do you know if John Dudley, the fire department said that he passed his background check. Are you aware of that?
I didn't do his background check, so I don't know.
They said they did it before. It must have been when Frank must have did it.
Yeah.
all right, so are we, what about the junior member?
I still haven't gotten any paperwork on that. They were talking that they said his background check was also complete, but they didn't send me a letter or anything, just a letter from John.
All right, so we can move forward to approve John Dudley as an active member of the fire department tonight, and then the next meeting we'll have to do.
We'll do the other guy.
Okay,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, so once we do a motion to adjourn, if the board members stay on, because we're going to do a picture for the yearbook for Menands School, and we don't need all the other screens in there. But thanks everybody for attending, and we'll see you on February 7th for the next meeting, again virtually, and then we'll figure out what's going on thereafter.
Sounds good. Is that all right? Motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thanks Renee. Thanks everybody.
See ya.
Okay, have a good night, all.
You too. All right, so stop recording.